Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert training. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to see is the breakpoints functionality that we have on the software. So let's go to the presentation. So what I'm going to explain in this video is just a basic guidance on how to use the breakpoint. Okay, so come on, there we go. So basically the breakpoints are very useful for debugging. Okay, I probably don't use it quite often when I should, but it's important that you know what it is and how to use it. So as you saw here, the breakpoints allowed us to stop the execution of our code where the breakpoint is created. Okay, so we need to define the location of the breakpoint. Okay, and then we have different commands in order to execute the next code available in our software. Okay, so one important thing here is that we need to be very careful when we use the breakpoint on a real machine. Okay, because if you are working in a real machine, okay, the program will be stop, okay, and the input and outputs will not be updated. Okay, so you need to be careful in that one. Okay, so as soon as we are in one of the breakpoints, okay, let me just put the pen, there we go. So as soon as we have this break in the status bar of the software, we should be able to see this: hold on BP breakpoints. Okay, so in order to see this breakpoints location or create the commands and everything, okay, we should go to the view part in the top part of our screen, the toolbar, and then select breakpoint. This breakpoint will allow us to see this window. Okay, and in this window we have all the commands to create a new to create a breakpoint or to delete the breakpoint, okay, or to release the breakpoint. Okay, so that's the goal of this breakpoint view window. We need to add it in our software, in our interface, so we can see all the breakpoints in one place. Then as you can see here, these are the commands. New is just to create a breakpoint, and it will appear this message, so you can define the location, okay, for the breakpoint in the POUs, and also the real position that you're going to have this breakpoint. Okay, there are a few stuff that I'm going to cover here. Also have conditions, but the idea is to give a basic idea what is the breakpoint and how to use it, just to have an idea of debugging. Then what we have is to delete. We can select, once we select one of the breakpoint that we have created, we can delete it or delete all that we have over here in this window. Then you also have the possibility to enable all or disable all. So you can already, if you are debugging your machine and there is one critical point that you always have some doubts, you can enable the breakpoint. Okay, you can create the breakpoint, and then you can disable after the machine is done. Okay, just in case. But if you're not using anymore and it's working, delete it. Okay, so let me just hide this completely. There we go. So you can see here. So this one over here, okay, allowed us to go directly to our code where the breakpoint is located. This one is the properties of the breakpoint, okay, and this one is to enable disable just a toggle for the breakpoint. Okay, that's it. These are all the commands that we have in order to create, enable, and delete. Okay, then we have another commands that allowed us to go through the code using the breakpoints. So okay, this is how you can create in the code. So basically you just need to right click where you want, okay, and select this icon, okay, which is the new breakpoint. So you will put a mark on your code, okay, and you should be able to see this icon if it's disabled. This one will is enabled, and when you are online with the controller and this one is enabled, and then the call runs through this breakpoint, okay, you should be able to see this hold on breakpoint. Okay, so easy as that. There is a link for more information about the symbols, but if you go to the Machine Expert online help and search for breakpoints, you should be able to find all the lists, because this is just the basic part, of the breakpoints. So you can enable disable if you right click on the mark, okay, you should be able to find disable breakpoint or enable, or you also have the toggle. So now we have already created the breakpoint. We know how to delete it, how to enable, how to disable. But what happens when you are on the breakpoint when the machine is stopped? Okay, so let me just show the complete window. So when you're in debug, okay, once you are online with the PLC and you have this icon over here, you should be able to see debug. This debug allowed us to see the commands that we have for these for the breakpoints. Okay, so to be honest, I don't remember which one are they, but step into and step over is almost similar. So imagine that you are running the code, and then in the middle of the code you have like called for another POU, another part of the program. So step into allows you to go inside the code, see what's in there, okay, and you also have the possibility to step out to go back to the previous one, and step over, it just it doesn't go inside the POU. If I'm not wrong, this is how it works. So execution of a single POU. POUs are executed completely within a step. Execution of a single step. This also applies to a POU called in a step. So this is what I told you before. You have a POU, just step into the POU, okay, and step out, just go back to the start. Run the cursor, next statement. We're gonna test this one, so don't worry. So this is just a tip, okay, so after using the breakpoint before logout, just disable them, okay, or delete it. It's gonna be much better if you delete them. So what I'm going to do now is to create a POU. We can use the same that we have used for the trace, okay. We add a breakpoint, execute the breakpoint, and check both tags. Many tags. I forget to mention something here. This is why I said in different tasks. If I'm not wrong, okay, the breakpoint only stop the task where the breakpoint is called. Okay, so just to show you this, let's go to our software. This is not the software, this one it is. So I have this application for the trace that we have done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to delete this part. I'm going to create a new task breakpoint, okay, and I'm going to call the trace over here, okay. Let's see, what do I have? Test. I don't know, why do I have this here? No, I don't want to use this, sorry. Okay, let's add a new POU. Working always. Use this. One equal WR01 plus 1. There we go. So what I'm going to do is to call this POU in a different mast. Okay, in the principal mast that I have, And here in the trace, what I'm going to do is to create a breakpoint over here. Okay, let me see. Let's create a breakpoint. Cannot use it. Let's log in. Let's log into the controller. With this one is the real controller. Okay, it's not a simulation. Okay, so this is going to be running. You can see there is doing something over here. There's some numbers. This was always running. You can see it's running. Let me just check this decimal. Okay, good. So it's running. Now, let me just see where I can show you this. Task configuration. Okay. So here you can see that there are the two applications or the two POUs are running in the controller. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is once you are online with the controller, you can see, for example, in structured text, they have this this circle over here. So this circle allows you to add a breakpoint over here. So before adding something, what I'm going to do is to enable the breakpoints window. So let's enable, it's on the other side of the screen, and there we go. So I'm going to put it over here. Okay. So if we right click over here and then new breakpoint, okay. Why didn't it create that? Okay. Let me just delete it. So new breakpoint. Okay. Probably didn't do it properly. So you can see that you have the POU name, the line 10, okay, and column 2, it doesn't matter, it's the line what I want. So, okay, as you can see over here, this breakpoint is located, okay, but it's not enabled. So if we right click over here, we should be able to enable this part, but just waiting for this to reach the 100, and then I'm going to do it. So enable, you can see there is enable. Now as soon as this one is reached the 100, it will go to stop, okay, breakpoint, hold on breakpoint. Okay, so we have this POU in hold, okay, so stop, do it to the breakpoint that we have created. You can see the arrow indicating that this is the code they're reading. So okay, so the other thing that I want to show you is I have different tasks. Okay, the one I'm calling this trace is in the task BP. As you can see, the task BP, okay, it's not executing anything at all, but the other task is working. Okay, so pay attention to that one. So add a breakpoint and any other task. And check the both tasks. We have already done that. So let's analyze the next step and the different commands that we have. Okay, so okay, trace. You have the commands over here, okay, and you also have the debug. Okay, so if I use a step over, okay, let's do a step over. Right now the code is over here. So step over, it continue with this line. There we go. It's line by line. So it will allow you to see what's going on line by line. Okay. So if I step into, you can see just the if is a function. Okay. So it just finish this part, return, this one I'm not able to enter inside the code of the blink. Okay, so now step out, it just step out for this SR trace, so it will go to the same, and then if I set next statement, okay, No, this one is the one that I have. Okay, so next statement is, okay, I want to go to this point once I have the breakpoint. Okay, so I want to go over here, over there, and here, and it just go. Okay, that is how it works. It allows you to go to the point that you want. And this one over here, show next statement, it's going to be this one. It's that one. But step over, step into. Probably the best ones, just to see how the code work in this basic part, is just to use this one, step into. So you just go everything again and step over. Okay, so you can go to the function blocks. It's not executing this part because it's lower than 100. That's why. Step into. If you are using Schneider Electric libraries, it will ask you, okay, I need to open the code. Okay, that's why I have received this. But no. So I step over, and step over, and step over. So let's see if I 98. Okay, and step over, step over, step over, step over, +2. I need to wait for this one. Okay. So now it's 100. Now if I step into it, go inside over here, okay, and it will execute this part. It will increment this part. Okay, 4. So this is how you can work with the breakpoints. Okay, and in this case it will execute again because you can put it in run, but as soon as it reaches the value, it will go again. So what you can do is to right click over here, disable it, okay, so you don't have it, and you can create a new toggle over here, new breakpoint. Okay, you can enable this part. Enable. Why should go over here? One. Bar is equal, but it's not equal. Okay. Bar 2. No, it's not equal. The thing is, I put this when it reaches the comparison. Okay, if I put the breakpoint over here, new breakpoint, okay, and enable it, it always try to execute this part. Okay, so if I disable this and then run again until it reach the 5, it will go to stop. Okay, so this one part will always be executed because it's just a if. The thing is that inside will only be executed as soon as it reaches the value 5. Okay, so this is how you can use the breakpoints and everything. And let me just show you how it looks like on disable breakpoint, and here you can delete all of them. Okay, you can see there is nothing over there. I want to show you how it looks like on the different languages. So let's put it over here and go online with this. So you got the idea that basically put the breakpoint and then you can step in all the execution of the code. just to see how it works. It's going to be useful if you want to learn how to use arrays or index, force, case. Everything is going to be good so you can see the sequence of the execution. Okay, I'm going to delete that one. I need to use, for example, the ladder. This part is always be executed. So new breakpoint over here, ladder, network 2. You have it over here, then you can enable it. You can see this part is going to be always executed. Okay, step into, so go inside, step over, step over, it's going to be over there, step out, let's go to the other function block, just go out for the function, run to cursor, the cursor is over here, step over, it's going to step over here to be executed, but you can see how it looks like. So disable, run, it's going to be back again. And then if I use the CFC, right click, let's see here, in this one, so you can see when it's only a conditional. So SR3 logic CFC element 3, which should be this one over here, I guess. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and you can see there the cycle. So if I execute this now, enable, as soon as it reach, I don't know which number, let's hold, element 3 is held over here. You can see it's in stop, it's not doing anything, and this variable is changing because it's the internal variable of the controller. Here you can see that the task BP words are encoding, all the function block are in stop, okay, and the other one is running. So if you go to step into, it execute the next function block, step into, well, in this case the output, and then you can cover the complete code over and over and over again. Okay, so this is just an idea how you can work with these. Just delete this. Okay, you have the icons to delete over here, that's what I was touching. Okay, delete all, okay, or delete this one. Okay, and then after you finish, then the program is working once again. So let me see if I cover this, try all the commands, the breakpoints, turn off your code. Then okay, so we have covered all the basic part of the breakpoints. Okay, so the breakpoint is a useful tool for you to develop your program. If you don't know what's going on or something weird with the code that doesn't work as you expected, this is the right tool for you to check line by line, okay, or function by function, what is going on in your code. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.